Ground-penetrating radar specialists have just made a chilling discovery beneath this school. Government officials, including Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, said the discovery was heartbreaking. What they were referring to was the remains of 215 children that had been found, with the researchers saying that some of the youngest found were aged as young as 3. The discovery was made at the site of a former residential school for Indigenous children, a discovery that Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said was heartbreaking. The students attended the Kamloops Indian Residential School in British Columbia, but the school had closed in 1978. The ground-penetrating radar specialist alerted authorities when they made the discovery. Chief Roseanne Casimir said the following: "We had a knowing in our community that we were able to verify. At this time we have more questions than answers." The report detailed that Canada's school system separated Indigenous children from their families. This was according to an investigation that was carried out in 2015. The school was run by Christian churches between the years of 1840s right up to the 1990s, and the report showed that some of the children had suffered terribly. It's estimated that over 150,000 children attended the school. Over 4,000 students had passed away while attending the school, with over 200 of them being buried under the grounds. This is just the things we know about, with many saying that a tiny part of Canada's dark history has been brought to light. Trudeau said the following about the discovery: "The news that remains were found at the former Kamloops Residential School breaks my heart. It's a painful reminder of that dark and shameful chapter of our country's history. I'm thinking about everyone affected by this distressing news. We are here for you. If you're looking for someone to talk to about this news, please reach out to the National Indian Residential School Crisis Line. It's there to provide 24/7 support to former residential school students and those affected, and it can be reached by calling 1-866-925-4419. In 2008, the Canadian government officially recognised what had happened and formally apologised. British Columbia Assembly of First Nations Regional Chief Terry Chigi said finding such grave sites is urgent work, and said that it refreshes the grief and loss for all First Nations in British Columbia. Online users were quick to comment on the matter, with one person saying the following: "It's so messed up how people did this in the past. What is wrong with humans?" With another saying this: "This is only the stuff we know about. History is dark. It teaches us that although we have a lot of work to do, we've come a long way. Unfortunately, those who carried out these actions are long gone, but we need to ensure that they won't happen again." With this user saying the following: "Your government is still doing this kind of stuff. Indigenous people are still being stolen from their homes. Your government and officials are currently forcing a pipeline through Indigenous lands. Your government is fighting Indigenous kids and residential school survivors in court." This person carried on with this: "History really does show us that our government doesn't give a damn. When you actually sit there and reflect on some of the stuff that they've done, it really shows us that they never cared for everyday people. This type of stuff is still happening in one way or another, yet people still look up to government officials. I've never understood it. They are the first people to throw you under the bus. We have a long way to go." With another saying the following: "This is just so sad. Why do we need to do these things? And why does it always seem to be people in power that do these heinous acts? They need to stop." To end on a positive note, back in April of 2019, hundreds of Indigenous men and women from the Ecuadorian Amazon marched through the streets, with them noting that this wasn't an easy journey, as the part of the Amazon they'd come from didn't have things like roads, so they had to canoe and find their own way to the regional capital. Once there though, the celebration started, and this is because the Ecuadorian government could not auction off their land for oil exploration. Nimonto Nkwamo, one of the leaders, said this was a great decision, going on to say the following: "The court recognized that the government violated our right to live free and make our own decisions about our territory and self-determination. Our territory is our decision, and now since we are owners, we're not going to let oil enter and destroy our natural surroundings." A few months prior to this, a leader, along with a government official who served the public, said that a lawsuit had been filed against the government, saying that the ways in which they had gone about their dealings were illegal. Although rather frustratingly, the government did say that as of right now they had won the auction, but this doesn't stop the region from being used for future drillings. Tribes are still fighting these battles, with one petition reading the following: "We do not want oil drilling on our land. We intend to protect the last remaining rainforest for the benefit of Ecuador and the world as a whole." The Chinese had harsh words for those wanting to stand in their way. China has given Ecuador generous loans in return for half of the oil produced, and one official didn't hold back when they heard about the tribes that wanted to stand in their way. They said the following: "We will get it either way. If you do not consent, then the Ecuadorian military will help us." One of the most beautiful places on the planet is that of the Amazon rainforest. It's also one of the least explored places, hiding a number of undiscovered animals and vegetation. The Amazon is the largest rainforest. It's around 69 million square kilometers, or 2.7 million square miles, and covers over 40% of the South American continent. Scientists have said that the Amazon is home to over 16,000 tree species and 10 million species of animals. They've also said there's over 390 billion individual trees in this region, so it's important that this incredible ecosystem is protected. So what do you make of this recent news? Be sure to leave your questions and answers in the comment section below, and help us to grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.